Hi folks, and welcome to Accounting 2241, our web-based introduction to financial accounting. Welcome, you are the guinea pigs. This is the first edition of our online course, so hopefully everything runs smoothly, and very much welcome your feedback throughout the course as to how things are going. But I think you'll enjoy the flexibility and the resources that are available here to learn the world of financial accounting. So first I want to have a bit of a disclaimer, and that is just some self-reflection for each of you watching this today to really understand if this format is right for you as a learner. And the questions you should ask yourself are, are you disciplined enough to really study and look through this work on your own time, regiment and piece some time out of your weekly schedule to ensure that the material is covered? Are you someone who's able to self-learn and self-discover concepts? So are you comfortable reading a textbook, looking at examples, being walked through a mini lecture, and able to sort of learn during those through all those different various learning ways, both through text, through video, and through some hands-on activities? So if you answer yes to both of those, then welcome to the course. I think you'll have a lot of success. If you hesitated on one of those answers, please feel free to try the course out, take a look at it, but really understand that you need to have some discipline in executing the deliverables of this course. Okay, without further ado, let's talk about the course itself. So let's start with our learning format. So there's three different elements that you'll find in this course. The first is personal discovery, and so that includes, again, textbook readings, some web resources, additional resources, really things that you're going to explore and look at your own pace. Well, I shouldn't say your own pace, just on your own time and during your structured learning at the times that you choose to do so. But again, those personal discoveries do have sort of deadlines in order to sort of keep pace with the course and ensure that you get all of the information under your belt before the major deliverables. The next element are lectures and interactive tutorials. And so what you'll see throughout the course are pre-recorded lectures to cover some key concepts, to sort of enlighten a little further than the textbook on some theories and concepts and problems. And then our interactive tutorials, where we'll actually put the theory in practice through execution of problems. And that'll give an opportunity as well for you to question directly anything that you've read or seen, get more information, or validate that you're understanding it correctly. Those tutorials are live every week via Blackboard, so again through distance technology. And the last are self-assessments and evaluations. And so throughout the learning modules, you're going to have some self-assessments to just validate your own learning, a chance for you to test whether you understand it or not without any penalization. So there's no credit for those, but you can try them as often as you'd like and ensure that you've got the concepts under your belt. There are weekly quizzes, assignments, midterm, and a final exam, which again we'll look at momentarily. So those are the components that really come together for the learning format of this course, and hopefully they'll come together to ensure that you've got all the information that you need to be successful. Let's take a look at the course format here. So the course is broken down into what we call learning modules. So each module will cover a key concept or a key theory. They don't always align to the chapters directly, so there's times that we might jump forward to a concept in Chapter 2 and then jump back to a concept in Chapter 1. But really it's all in sort of building the blocks of understanding for you. So each module is numbered and listed and just going in order as you go through the course. It allows you to take sort of mini spurts at studying. So don't feel like you have to read all of Chapter 1 in one big burst. We'll break it down into smaller sections. So if you, rather than having 3 hours a week to dedicate to this course, you have 20 minutes a day. Again, this will give you the opportunity to sort of break that down into smaller segments, learn smaller concepts at a time, and then piece them together at the end of the module. Okay, and again, you're responsible for keeping pace on those learning modules. So we have in our course calendar, we do have sort of a a template of the modules you should be studying each week. So we expect you to sort of keep track with that. We have online tutorials. Again, weekly we'll be contacted live via Blackboard Collaborate, and I will show you the links there. Thursdays from 8 until 9 p.m. will be our timeline. All of those tutorial sessions are recorded, but I think we'll definitely find value in being live and in attendance, if possible, along with a headset and microphone so that you can ask your direct questions and get information that you need and participate. In those tutorials, typically we'll walk through the tutorial problems that have been posted, so always best if you have a chance to look at them and at least try them before we get together. We'll walk through the solutions. We'll talk about how the concepts are applied in the problem. And of course, if you have any questions that you need clarity on other materials, that'll be the opportunity to sort of ask those questions and get clarity as well. Typically, those tutorial sessions will run for the hour. If we need more time throughout the course, we can always add time on. Okay, evaluation. So how is your performance actually evaluated in the course? So we have self-assessments, and self-assessments, as I mentioned before, have no credit, so they're not for credit, but they are very important to the stepping stones of the course. So the self-assessments are available through Wiley Plus with your textbook. And your textbook, just on a side note, we'll look at it before, but your textbook is this one here. Ooh, it's got the nice tree on it. It is called Financial Accounting, Tools for Business Decision Making. The 6th Canadian edition, and that is important. It needs to be the up-to-date version by Kimmel, Weygand, Kaiso, Trenholm, and Irvin. So the details are in our course outline as well, but just ensure that you have access to the course as well as the Wiley Plus online resource that comes with the textbook. If you're using a used book, you will still have the option to purchase access to Wiley Plus by following the links in our course. But I don't know how much that is on its own. So before you go out and buy a used book, just evaluate the different options that are out there for you. You could also buy the text in e-text directly through Wiley, which would include access to Wiley Plus, if you prefer to use a reading tablet or something like that to study from. Okay, so we need the book and we need access to Wiley Plus, and self-assessments are available in Wiley Plus. You can attempt them as many times as you want. They'll be open for the duration of the course, so you can go in and do them, and then you can also use them as a study module before any assignments or tests or midterms. Yeah, and they're accessible through the Wiley Plus links directly, or through the modules, or through links on our course homepage. So there's lots of ways to get there, and we'll go through a little exploration of our course website in just a moment. The next evaluation method is our quizzes. So quizzes are done on our Blackboard site, and they're due weekly. They cover topics from the learning module that you would have just completed. And you can attempt each quiz 3 times, and the best mark will be used for your grade. In order to provide you with some flexibility, understanding we all have busy lives. Sometimes we're away, sometimes we're sick. Sometimes we just don't get around to things. So we'll give you the ultimate flexibility to say quizzes have to be completed and submitted before the end of term, December 2nd. So ensure that you get your quizzes done. I recommend doing them as they come up on your learning modules. But if for some reason something comes up and you can't get it completed, just know that you do have until the end of term to submit. All in all, there's 10 quizzes worth 10% in total. Okay, the next evaluation method is our discussion board contributions, and again, the discussion boards are used to sort of breathe some light into the topics that we're talking about. An opportunity for you to think a little bit outside the box and apply some of the theory that we'll be talking about, or the concepts. So the discussion board contributions are worth 5%, and there are 5 discussion board topics throughout the course. The links are directly in our modules, so again, as you cover a topic, you'll be requested to link into the discussion board and answer a question that's related to it. And these are also direct links through our course homepage as well. But again, we're looking for a meaningful contribution to the topic, so typically a few lines. I don't need you to write an essay. leave something for other people to say, but make a contribution either directly to answer the question or to respond to something one of your colleagues or classmates has said. If you want to add on to their train of thought or object to their train of thought, that's okay as well, as long as we keep things cordial. Okay, there are also 5 assignments in the course, each assignment worth 2%. The assignments are posted on our course homepage. They're also available through Wiley+. They must be submitted before the deadline. And again, just a reminder that the deadlines are Halifax time. I'm also contemplating doing some additional assignments or substituting some of the Wiley+ assignments with more sort of Excel-based assignments. So if I do that, we will give you plenty of notice and submit those assignments through Blackboard rather than Wiley+. And of course, announcement, of course, will be sent out to this if this is the case. Again, important that your settings in Blackboard allow for course announcements to be sent to an email that you check fairly regularly. So if it's being sent to your SMU email and you simply just don't check that, please have your mail redirected to an email address that you will notice and take note of, because those course announcements at times can be fairly important. Okay, we'll have a midterm. So one midterm date to be announced, location to be announced on campus. For those of you in HRM, you'll be invited to join us on campus for that midterm. If you're off campus or outside of HRM, we'll ask you to coordinate with the Community Education Department to coordinate a proctor for a similar time frame. Same thing with our final exam. Final exam will be worth 40%. It will be cumulative with a focus on the second half of the course. That will be scheduled through the registrar's office during the official exam time frame, so don't make any travel arrangements during the exam time frame. Wait until you get your finalized exam schedule. And quite similarly, for those of you who are off campus outside of HRM and requiring the use of a proctor, we'll coordinate through the Continued Education Department as well to get a proctor in the same time frame. Okay? And ensure that we have all the details to send the information out correctly. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the resources available to you in the course outside of the textbook. So we have our discussion board named Student Questions. So should you have any course-related questions, when is this assignment due, I don't understand this concept, the illustration on page 300 doesn't look right to me, all of those things can be posted directly in this discussion board. I prefer that rather than email to myself personally, because this allows all students to sort of see the question and also see the answer. So if multiple students have the same question, the answer will be in that discussion board. I won't have to respond to 10 separate emails. And on the same token, if you have a question related to the course, please go to the discussion board first and see if someone else has asked the question and if it's been answered. If not, please post your question in there. Also, if you're in that discussion board and you see someone who's asked a question and I haven't responded yet, and you know the answer, please feel free to respond directly. If the response you gave was incorrect, I will correct it later. But please help each other out. If you have questions, you want to use that board, discussion board as a forum to work through extra problems, work through tutorial problems, by all means, that is completely allowed. Not for assignment questions, of course, but as you go through, feel free to use and abuse each other as well. In terms of time frames, I try to check the discussion board at least daily, sometimes twice daily, so you can expect a response fairly quickly through that. Okay, for non-course related or more personal matters related to your own performance in the course, please do feel free to contact me directly. Email is the best way to get in touch with me if you'd like to coordinate a time for us to have a conversation face-to-face or over the phone. Again, connect with me via email first and we'll coordinate something that will meet both of our schedules. Okay, I know I've said it once, I'll say it again. Wiley Plus is another fantastic resource, especially as you're going through this in a self-directed sort of environment. There are review resources for each chapter that we've posted on that Wiley Plus page, as well as a whole number of practice problems that you can utilize with solutions up to date. and they can prompt you along the way. So the Wiley Plus is a great resource for you. The folks at the Continued Education Office are your contact for proctor information, assistance with accessing the course, etc. And of course, ITTS and Help Desk are your resource for all things technical. My Blackboard doesn't work. You know, I'm getting an error message, such and such as that. Please don't ask me those questions because you will not like the answer. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual course website. All right, so hopefully you are now seeing our Accounting 2241 Introductory to Financial Accounting websites. This is our home page, our launch page. Lovely graphics. Here's your handsome instructor here. I want to go straight to our course content where the meat and potatoes of our course will lie. So in here we have our course outline, our syllabus, all the information for contacting me, academic responsibilities, as well as a responsibilities quiz that you can take to ensure that you understand your responsibilities, and technical support and other resources. So again, a good spot to sort of take a look and see what's in here. Okay, please do take the time to review our overall course outline. It'll have all of our policies on the different evaluations. Okay. If we go back to our course content, you'll also see our various modules. So Module 1, as you click in, will open up your lesson plan, and you can direct either directly to your modules by clicking on the live links. So Module 1.1, Users of Accounting Information, or you can also use the scroll tab on the right-hand side of your view pane. So again, lesson plan for 1.1 is to watch this video, check, done, read the course syllabus, great, and do some exploring. As you click through, you can move to the right. You'll have our first module, 1.2, which will talk about users of accounting information. Again, it'll let us know what you're looking to do, so we have to read pages 4 till 6 and try a self-assessment. And of course, our self-assessment is linked right in here as well. So as you go through your self-assessments, you can click to launch directly here, and it will direct you to our Wiley Plus page, which you will have the chance to sign into. Okay, so of course I've already signed in, but you will require your Wiley Plus codes as well as your contact information. And this is your self-assessment. So you can go through and do these exercises. Again, you'll be able to put your answers into each of the sections, check your answers, and review the links to the text. So if you're not sure, you can link directly to text, and it's going to show you the pages that are similar that talk about these subject matters. Okay, so a great resource as you're going through to validate your understanding. Once you're done, you can submit. And your score will show you exactly how you've done. Okay. Now we'll return to Blackboard and look at some other resources here. So back to course content. Again, as you go through your modules, other pieces that will be available for you, you'll have some lecture materials. So again, lectures that are embedded directly inside of our modules. So typically they'll be between 10 and 30 minutes in length and cover off 1 to 2 subject matters. So again, you can watch those as additional resources. At the end of each chapter, there's also a bringing it together. So again, some things to sort of review, some key concepts to look at. We have our quiz links in here as well, so please launch your quizzes. Okay, so again, it tells us that this test is due December the 2nd. You have multiple attempts. That's 3 multiple attempts, and at the top mark is taken for you. Let's go back into our course content. And last but not least, we'll have our tutorial problems. So tutorial problems listed for every module. Again, these are the 4 or 5 questions that we're going to try to work through on our live weekly tutorial. And so if you have a chance to look at a few of them beforehand, that is of course preferred so that you get a sense to work through them on your own first. All right, so let's look at another module here and just ensure we've got everything. There's also some links to our discussion board as you look through, and chapter resources. So at the end of each chapter we have what we call chapter resources. And again, this will link us directly to Wiley+. And again, you'll have multiple different review pieces. So you'll have a rapid review sheet which talks about the key concepts, things that you should be familiar with by the end of this chapter. We have some videos in some modules, crossword puzzles in some modules for you to sort of understand and work through. And we also have the solution manuals for the problems in the course. So you'll be able to work through some of those as well. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the other elements here. So you'll see that primarily through your modules you'll be able to link to all of the deliverables as you go, but also just pay attention to the left-hand side of your course page. We have your self-assessments listed directly here as well. So as you go through the course you can link directly to each of these self-assessments for the particular modules. Also we have all your quizzes listed. So as you complete a module, you can feel free to go directly into this or go back to this page to do a quiz again. Your assignments will be listed in here. So currently we have 5 assignments listed in Wiley+. If we replace some of these with non-Wiley+ assignments, they'll be linked in here as well for you to complete. Assignment due dates will also be listed in here for you. Again, we have our tutorial problems, so the problems to work through for each of our weekly tutorials. The chapter review resources, so for each chapter, the resources through Wiley+. And our discussion boards. So our discussion boards are all listed here for each module. So again, typically 1 or 2 questions for you to look at or respond to. You can choose one or the other, and just simply click on and create your thread to respond. Okay. Again, our discussion boards, we're looking for some meaningful contributions or responses to these questions. Okay, last but not least, our weekly tutorial. So in order to access our weekly tutorials, we're going to click on our link to Blackboard Collaborate on the left-hand side. And if we should have a scheduled session, it'll be listed here under Scheduled Sessions. If you happen to miss the live tutorial and want to watch the recording later, simply click on the recordings link and change your scan date. So this will give you a time frame. So just change your scan date to the time period that you're looking for. And any recorded sessions will be listed here. You'll have access to view them throughout the course. They'll be available for the entire duration of the term. Just remember to change your start and end dates when you're searching your recordings. Okay. Finally, you'll have grades available through your grade panel, and as the course progresses, those will be updated on an ongoing basis. All right, so that is our course homepage, and a link to some of those resources. So I hope that gives you a good overview of the course and where to access the materials. I look forward to meeting you all during our first online tutorial on Thursday evening from 8 till 9 p.m. Again, if you have any questions or concerns in getting onto that, please feel free to post your questions or contact help desk or IT for support in setting up your browser. I do recommend trying to log in about 15 minutes before the session for the first one, as you do need to download the browsers to be able to view it. All right, thanks so much, and I hope you enjoy the course. I think you'll find it gives you a good degree of flexibility, but still provides you the resources that you'll need to be successful and understand the core concepts in this financial accounting course. Again, at any time, if you have questions for me, don't hesitate to reach out, either for questions, for feedbacks, or for commentary. Again, as this is the first offering, I'm very much interested in hearing your experiences so that we can make things that much better for the next crew. Thanks so much, folks, and hope you're having a great day. And again, welcome to the course. Bye now.